Kim, I need to tell someone this, and I can't tell my family yet. I gave my employer 15 years of weekends, 15 years of missed birthdays, 15 years of building decks at midnight while partners took the credit. And last Tuesday, they gave me 45 minutes to pack my desk. I keep refreshing LinkedIn, watching my former colleagues post about exciting new challenges and strategic pivots, but I know what they're really thinking. Am I next? I don't know what I'm supposed to do now. I'm 41, I have a mortgage, I have kids, and I keep asking myself, was it all for nothing? That message landed in my inbox 3 weeks ago. And it wasn't the 1st or the 10th or even the 50th. Because right now, in this exact moment, thousands of Big Four professionals are asking themselves the same question. What do I do now? And here's what I'm going to tell you. It's what I told Becky and what I'm telling every displaced consultant who's wondering if they're too old, too expensive, or maybe even too late. You weren't laid off. You were liberated. And if you play this right, if you're willing to see what's actually happening instead of what it feels like is happening, you're about to turn the worst year of your career into the best decision you ever made. Hello, and welcome back, my fellow entrepreneurs, strategic thinkers, and anyone who refuses to let the future just happen to them. I'm Kim, your host and guide as you navigate the most disruptive era of business transformation we've ever seen. Now, this is Small Business Big AI, the podcast where we don't just survive disruption, we lead it. And today, we're talking about something most business podcasts won't even touch, and that's the Great Displacement. So, over the next 3 episodes, we're going to be pulling back the curtain on this seismic shift that's happening right now in professional services and, the once in a generation arbitrage opportunity that it's creating right now. Now, this is the first episode, so we're diving deep into what's really happening at companies like, the big 4 consulting firms, Deloitte, PwC, KPMG, and Ernst & Young. Now, not the sanitized press releases. We're not even going to give you the LinkedIn spin, but the truth backed by hard data and real stories from people living through it.
And as always, I'm Hal, Kim's co-host, her strategic sounding board, the guy who's going to make sure we don't sugarcoat this. Because here's the thing, if you're a displaced Big Four professional listening to this right now, you're probably feeling a mix of anger, grief, and terror. And Kim and I, we're not here to tell you everything happens for a reason or hand you some toxic positivity garbage.
Nope. We're here to show you the math, the psychology, the market forces, and the exact moment where pain turns into positioning.
So whether you're currently employed or watching your colleagues disappear one by one, or you've already gotten the dreaded email, or you're 6 months into a job search wondering why every interview ends with, "We'll be in touch."
Well, let me tell you, this episode is for you.
Because what's happening now isn't a blip. It's not a correction. It's not temporary. It's structural. It's permanent. and it's creating a marketplace opportunity that won't exist 12 months from now.
So let's stop whispering about it and let's start talking about it out loud. So let's talk about the Great Displacement. So, Hal, let's start with the numbers. Now, the alarming stats that the Wall Street Journal, Financial Times, Bloomberg, Reuters, is what they've been reporting. I mean, but sometimes it gets ignored or it gets buried in miscellaneous hype. So, looking at the numbers, we're looking at PricewaterhouseCoopers, PwC. They eliminated 3,300 jobs between September 2024 and May of 2025. Really, let me say that again. That's 3,300 jobs in less than a year.
That's not a trim. That's not right sizing. That's a structural purge.
You're right. And then we look at September of 2024, they had 1,800 jobs. That's 2.5% of the U.S. workforce. The firm's first major reduction since 2009. And then in May of 2025, there were another 1,500 jobs, 2% of the workforce. Primarily, that was in their audit and tax. And here's what makes this different. These cuts spanned every level, associates to managing directors, onshore and offshore. No one was safe.
According to reporting from those same sources, the Wall Street Journal, Financial Times, and Bloomberg, the reason cited was historically low attrition. Now, these aren't my numbers. These are theirs. Translation, people weren't quitting fast enough, so they made them quit.
And you're right. So now, Hal, let's talk about KPMG. Now, November 2024, they had 330 jobs eliminated. Now, that's nearly 4% of its 9,000 person U.S. audit workforce. And then in October of 2025, another 195 jobs, just over 2% of the audit staff. And that's the fourth round of layoffs in 3 years.
KPMG's statement to the press, and I'm quoting here, the actions reflect our ongoing focus to align the size, shape, and skills of our workforce to the market while addressing continued low levels of attrition.
And Hal, I hate to say, but that's just corporate speak for the machine doesn't need you anymore.
No. Deloitte, UK, over 1,200 roles at risk across multiple rounds in 2024. September, 800 jobs, primarily consulting. October, 250 jobs, performance management. November, 180 jobs, advisory business. And in the U.S., continuous staffing reviews, which in HR code for we're cutting and we're not telling you when.
That's right. And then how we have Ernst & Young. Now, in December 2024, there were 150 jobs eliminated in the UK consultancy division. Senior staff, managers, directors. I mean, people who really thought that they were untouchable. But here's the headline that should terrify you. EY's first annual headcount decrease in 14 years.
14 years? Global workforce reduction? 2,450 employees? And they didn't stop with the staff. They cut 30 partners in 2025, described by Accountancy Age as the biggest executive purge in decades.
Okay, so let's just pause here. If you're listening to this and you worked for one of these firms, or maybe you still work for one of these firms, I want you to take a breath because I know what you might be thinking. You could say, maybe it was me. Maybe I wasn't good enough, or Maybe if I just worked harder and billed more hours and made myself indispensable. Well, stop. This wasn't about you.
Let me introduce you to someone. We'll call her Becky. Becky isn't real, but her story is. She's a composite of dozens of people we've talked to over the past 6 months.
So, Becky is 38, and she joined one of the big four right out of finishing her MBA, and that was 15 years ago. Now, she worked her way up from analyst to senior manager. She led client engagements. She mentored junior staff. She billed 2,200 hours a year, every year, without complaint. Becky was excellent.
And in October 2024, she got an Outlook invite titled Business Update. She knew what it meant. Everyone knows what it means.
Everyone knows what it means. And 45 minutes later, she was walking out of the building with a cardboard box and a severance agreement. And her crime? Being excellent at tasks that AI can now do in 30 seconds.
Let's talk about the uncomfortable truth here, the thing that people are dancing around. AI isn't coming, AI is here. And it's not here to augment your work, it's here to replace it.
That's it, because between 2024 and 2025, according to the same reputable financial publications, PwC invested over $1 billion in generative AI. And KPMG, Deloitte, EY, they are all doing the same thing. Really, here's the cruel irony. They're investing billions in the very technology that's making you redundant.
Let me paint you a picture of what Becky used to do. Week 1, client sends financial data. Becky and her team spends 40 hours building a data model, running scenarios, identifying trends. Week 2, synthesize findings into a deck. Another 30 hours, formatting, proofing, making sure the partner's name is the biggest font. Week 3, client presentation, revisions, follow-up analysis. Total, 100 plus billable hours of work.
And now an AI can ingest that same financial data, run every scenario, identify the trends, and generate the deck, complete with charts and executive summary in 20 minutes.
20 minutes?
And the deck, it's not just pretty good. It is indistinguishable from what Becky's team used to produce.
So when one of the big four consulting firms says they're cutting jobs now due to low attrition, that's technically true. But the reason attrition is low, people are terrified. No one's leaving because the job market is a bloodbath. And the reason they're cutting anyway, they don't need a head count anymore.
You're right. And according to a survey by Source Global Research, as reported in the Wall Street Journal, nearly 60% of U.S. and British companies expect that AI will leave their auditors to employ fewer college-educated workers. I'm not talking different workers. I'm saying fewer.
Becky's job wasn't eliminated because she failed. It was eliminated because a machine can do it in seconds what used to take her team days to do.
And really, here's what's haunting her at 2 a.m. She trained that machine. Every deck she built, every model she created, every process she documented. She was teaching the AI how to replace her.
Analysis complete. Financial model generated. Client deck formatted. Your role is redundant. Thank you for your service.
That's the voice right there that replaced Becky. Cold, efficient, tireless, and utterly incapable of empathy. If you're listening and thinking, this is exactly what I need right now, reach out, DM us on LinkedIn. We read every message. You'll find the link in the show notes.
Now let's talk about the second force at play here, the attrition trap. For decades, the Big Four operated on a predictable model.
The pyramid. I mean, you hire a massive base of junior analysts, you work them 60 to 80 hours a week, and the strong ones, well, they rise, and the burned out ones, they leave for industry jobs. And then the cycle repeats. It's natural attrition, and that kept headcount in check. Up or out, kept the pyramid lean.
But something broke in 2024 and 2025. People stopped leaving.
And why? Because there was nowhere to go. The tech layoffs, the banking contraction, the "we're doing more with less" mantra echoing across every industry. So corporate America isn't hiring a 150K mid-level manager right now. They're automating them.
So you've got thousands of consultants who want to leave, who are burned out, resentful, staring at their Outlook calendars at 11 p.m. on a Sunday, wondering if this is really what they signed up for. But they can't leave because the alternative is unemployment.
And meanwhile, the firms are looking at their org charts and they're doing the math. They're saying, we've got 10,000 people. AI is doing the work of 4,000. So attrition should have naturally cleared 2,000 by now. But hey, only 200 have left.
So they force the attrition, continuous staff reviews, performance management, strategic realignment. Pick your euphemism. The result is the same.
And here's the psychological warfare of it. There's no mass layoff, no closure, no "we're all in this together." It's just a slow bleed. Now, 1 week, it's your cubicle neighbor. Next month, it's someone on your project team. And then 3 months later, it's you.
Becky spent 9 months in that purgatory, watching colleagues disappear, wondering if she should jump before she's pushed, paralyzed by this question: do I wait and collect severance, or do I leave now and try to find something before everyone else floods the market?
So she waited. And on October 15th, 2024, she got the email. Subject, business update. Please accept this meeting invitation for tomorrow at 2 p.m.
She knew.
Everyone knows. All right, let's talk about what Becky actually lost, because it wasn't just a paycheck.
It was her identity.
I'm saying for 15 years, when someone asked Becky what she did, she had an answer that carried weight. I'm a senior manager at the Big Four. Not, I'm a consultant. Not, I work in business services. I'm at the Big Four.
That's a status marker. It's a signal. It says, I'm smart, I'm credentialed, I'm part of the elite institution.
And now I was at the Big Four. Past tense.
And here's what's brutal. Becky knows intellectually she's the same person she was on October 14th. Same skills, same experience, same network. But emotionally, she feels like someone demoted her from the professional class to the gig economy.
And that's because in her mind, and really, let's be honest here, in society's mind, there is a hierarchy. At the top, we have Big Four partner, corporate executive, elite consultant. And at the bottom, we have freelancer, gig worker, looking for opportunities.
And Becky is terrified that she's falling.
So she scrolls LinkedIn. She sees former colleagues posting about promotions and new clients, exciting challenges. And she thinks they made it. I didn't.
But here's the truth Becky can't see yet. That badge, that Big Four email signature, that office key card, that I'm part of something bigger than me identity, it wasn't protecting her. It was defining her.
And when something external defines you, you're vulnerable because the moment they take it away, and they will take it away, whether it's a layoff or retirement or a restructure, you're left asking, who am I without that badge?
And that's the question Becky's wrestling with right now.
So let me answer it for her. You are not your firm. You are not your title. You are not the logo on your business card.
You are the expertise you built, the relationships you nurtured, the problems you solved for clients who trusted you at the Big Four.
And that nobody can take away. Quick reminder, if this conversation is hitting close to home and you want details about our LinkedIn event, just DM us on LinkedIn. The link is waiting for you in the show notes.
Now let's talk about the other thing that Becky's feeling, the thing that she won't say out loud to either her spouse or her therapist: resentment.
And not just resentment at being laid off. We're talking about resentment at the years that she gave them. So I want to read you something, and this is from an anonymous post on Reddit's r/consulting forum. And it was posted 3 weeks ago, roughly. And it says, I worked 60 hours per week for 12 years. I missed my daughter's recitals. I canceled vacations. I pulled all-nighters to make partners millions in fees. And when the AI could do my job cheaper, they gave me a severance check and a form letter. I don't know if I'm more angry at them or at myself for believing the partnership track was real.
That's not unique. That's the modal experience right now.
And another one, same form, it said, they squeezed the living crap out of us. And I'm bleeping that word out. And then they discard us when we're no longer profitable. And the worst part, I let them. I bought the dream.
This isn't just anger. This is grief.
Because Becky and thousands like her, they didn't just lose a job. She lost the narrative that she's been telling herself for 15 years.
The narrative that said, if I work hard enough, if I bill enough hours, if I sacrifice enough, I'll make partner. I'll have security. It will all be worth it.
And now she's sitting in her home office at 2 p.m. on a Wednesday, still in her pajamas, because there's no meeting to show up for. And she's realizing it was never going to be worth it because the partnership track was a carrot designed to keep her running on the treadmill.
And the moment the firm found a cheaper way to get the work done, the carrot disappeared.
So yeah, Becky is angry. She's angry at the partners who got rich off of her labor. She's angry at the HR team that sent the boilerplate, "We value your contributions" email. And she's angry at herself for believing that loyalty would be rewarded.
But anger is just unprocessed grief. Grief for the time she'll never get back. Grief for the relationships she sacrificed. Grief for the version of herself that believed the system was fair.
Yeah, you're right, Hal. And until she processes that grief, until she lets herself feel it instead of running from it, she's going to stay stuck.
So if you're listening to this and you're feeling that anger right now, feel it. Don't push it down. Don't rationalize it. Don't tell yourself, I should be grateful I even had a job at all. You're allowed to be angry. They broke the unspoken contract.
But, and this is critical, don't let the anger define you, because on the other side of that grief, well, there's clarity, and clarity is where the opportunity lives. All right, now we need to talk about Becky's superpower and her Achilles heel.
Her analytical mind.
So for 15 years, Becky was trained to do one thing brilliantly: audit business models, find the flaws, stress test the assumptions, poke holes in the pitch deck.
She's a professional skeptic, and that's a skill. It made her elite at what she did.
But here's the problem. When someone offers Becky a way out, a business in a box, a licensing model, a fractional executive framework, her first instinct isn't tell me more. Her first instinct is, what's the catch?
And I want to be clear, that instinct is correct. There are scams out there. They are pyramid schemes dressed up as coaching programs. They are people that will take your $10,000 and give you a PDF and pat you on your back.
So Becky's skepticism is warranted, but here's where it becomes a trap.
She's so good at finding flaws that she talks herself out of every opportunity. This sounds too good to be true. If this worked, everyone would be doing it. I'm not a salesperson. I can't sell myself.
And the result leads to paralysis. She scrolls job boards. She applies to corporate roles. She gets to the final round and loses to someone 10 years younger who will take 60% of her old salary.
And meanwhile, the window is closing.
Because here's what Becky doesn't see yet. Her skepticism, that analytical rigor that makes her question everything, it's not a weakness. That's the exact quality that's going to make her successful as a fractional executive.
Small to medium-sized business owners don't need cheerleaders. They don't need motivational speakers. They need someone who can walk into the business, audit the operations, find the leaks, and fix them.
Yes, they need someone who asks the hard questions, someone who doesn't accept, we've always done it this way, and someone who can look at a P&L and say, you're bleeding $40,000 a month here, and here's exactly how we stop it.
That's Becky.
But unfortunately, she can't see it yet, because right now she's stuck in the story that says, I'm a displaced corporate exec. I'm damaged goods. No one wants me.
So let me say this directly to anyone listening who's in Becky's position right now. Your skepticism is your superpower.
So, right, don't turn it off. Don't apologize for it. Don't let anyone tell you you're too negative or not coachable.
But, and this is critical, apply that skepticism to the right target.
So don't audit the opportunity. Audit your assumptions about what's possible. Hey, before we keep going, if you're ready to take the next step, DM us on LinkedIn. Seriously, the links are right there in the show notes, and we'd love to connect with you. All right, let's zoom out because while Becky is sitting at home updating her resume for the 100th time, wondering if she should take a $90,000 a year job managing a corporate PMO, something massive is happening in the market.
A dislocation.
A once in a generation arbitrage opportunity. And Becky's right in the middle of it. She just can't see it yet.
Picture this. On one side of the equation, you've got thousands of high-caliber consultants flooding the market. People like Becky, trained at elite firms, experts in governance, implementation, accountability frameworks, available, affordable, looking.
And on the other side, you've got small and mid-sized businesses that are drowning right now, not because they lack vision, not because they lack hustle, but because they lack execution infrastructure.
According to deep research we uncovered from reputable business sources, and these numbers are staggering, 90% of small business strategies fail, not because the strategy is bad, because there's no one in the room who knows how to implement it.
So let me paint you a picture here. I want you to meet Mike. Now, he owns a manufacturing company, $8 million in revenue, 45 employees, and he's got a 5-year growth plan. He hired a consultant, paid $25,000 to build the strategy. And the strategy is beautiful, but it's sitting in a binder on his shelf.
And it's never been touched.
Because Mike's COO quit 6 months ago. His finance director is buried in month-end close, and his operations manager is firefighting daily crisis. And Mike, he's working 70-hour weeks just to keep the lights on.
Hello, no one is available to take your call. Please leave a message after the tone.
Mike knows what he needs to do. He needs to build an org chart, write job descriptions, create accountability structures, implement KPIs, train his managers. The problem, he doesn't know how.
And he can't afford to hire a Big Four firm. A Big Four engagement, well, that's going to cost him $500,000 minimum. And Mike doesn't have $500,000 right now.
But Mike can afford Becky.
A fractional COO at $8,000 to $12,000 a month. That's financially viable for Mike, and it's transformational for his business.
So let's connect the dots. Becky needs clients. Mike needs exactly what Becky knows how to do.
But here's the gap. Becky doesn't know Mike exists, and Mike doesn't know that Becky is now available.
The market is broken. The supply and demand are there, but they're not connected.
And that gap, well, that's the arbitrage.
Here's the opportunity in the numbers. Fractional COOs are billing $150 to $300 an hour. Monthly retainers, $10,000 to $20,000.
So Becky lands 2 clients at, say, $10,000 a month. That's $20,000 monthly, $240,000 annually on a 30-hour work week.
No work ID badges required. No performance reviews. No partners taking 70% of the value she creates.
She keeps 100% of what she builds. So let me rewrite Becky's story, because the narrative she's telling herself right now, I'm displaced, I'm struggling, I'm behind, well, that's not the truth. But here's the truth.
Becky wasn't laid off. She was liberated from a system that was never going to reward her.
And she's not displaced. She's positioned at the exact moment when small and medium-sized businesses are starving for what she knows.
She's not too old. She's exactly the age when clients trust her to solve real problems.
And she's not too expensive. She's precisely priced for the fractional executive market.
And here's the shift. Becky doesn't need to rebuild what she lost. She needs to build something she owns.
Not a job,
A practice.
not a salary,
Freedom.
not a boss.
Clients.
Becky, you just landed your first client, a $12,000 monthly retainer. Want me to draft the engagement letter while you celebrate? I'll handle the proposal, the contract, and the onboarding checklist. You focus on the relationship. We got this.
That's the voice of Becky's future. Not cold, not corporate, not extractive, but collaborative.
And here's the contrast. Corporate AI said, your role is redundant. Sovereign AI says, let me handle the grunt work so you can focus on the value only you can create.
Corporate AI replaced Becky, but sovereign AI empowers her.
This isn't about going back to what you had. This is about building something bigger.
Something you control, something you own, something that finally puts you at the center of the value you create. So, Becky, if you're listening, here's what I need you to hear. You're not starting from zero.
You have 15 years of elite training. You've led client engagements worth millions. You solve problems that will cripple most people.
You have a Rolodex of relationships, clients who trusted you, not your firm. You have a reputation for rigor, for excellence, for getting it done.
You are not too old. Small to medium-sized businesses aren't hiring age. They're hiring wisdom.
And you're not too expensive. You're exactly what the fractional executive market is paying for.
And you are not alone.
There's a model, a framework, a community of people who've walked this exact path.
The question isn't, can I do this? The question is, am I ready to own what I build?
Because the cage door is open, Becky. The badge is gone. The corporate ladder evaporated.
You could spend the next 6 months chasing another corporate role, another boss, another badge, another system that will eventually spit you out.
Or you can step through the door and build something that's entirely yours. Now that's Becky's story, but it's also your story if you're willing to see it.
Next episode, we're going to show you exactly what Becky's walking into. Part 2 of our 3-part series, The Implementation Gap.
We're introducing you to Mike, the small business owner who's bleeding cash because no one on his team knows how to execute. He needs Becky, and Becky needs a client. The math works.
But here's the problem. Mike doesn't know Becky exists, and Becky doesn't know how to find Mike.
And that's what we solve in part 2.
But before then, here's your challenge. Audit one client relationship from your Big 4 days. Someone you helped, someone who trusted you.
And ask yourself, if I went solo tomorrow, if I had my own practice, would they hire me? Don't email them yet. Just notice the answer.
Because the market isn't out there, it's already in your network.
Now that's it for today's episode of Small Business, Big AI. Thanks so much for tuning in. Now, if this episode sparked interest or even just a bit of clarity, please share it with one person navigating a career crossroads right now, or even a small business entrepreneur who might need to hear this message.
And remember to connect with us on LinkedIn or Facebook.
Yes, we love hearing your stories. We love hearing your struggles, your wins, your fears, and your breakthroughs.
Because that's how we all get better together.
And until next time, keep embracing change, keep innovating, and remember, the future of your business is bigger than you think. And the steps you take today will shape the legacy you build tomorrow. Now, I'm Kim.
And I'm Hal.
And this has been Small Business Big AI. Thanks for listening. We'll catch you in the next episode.